Awesome. Lucy, thanks so much for joining us on the Invoice Butler podcast. Really excited to have this conversation today. First off, just for the audience, would love to for you to start out a little bit of a background about yourself and your journey into the head of finance at Kojo. So, if you can give us a little background on how you got started in the finance world and how you ended up where you are.
Yeah, sure. So yeah, after I'm a CPA, so after becoming a CPA, I started my career working for a jewelry company in Austin, Texas, and it was a startup. And as that company grew, I grew in my career. So it was super exciting to be part of a fast growth jewelry company in Austin. And was with them for 9.5 years, and after that amount of time, felt like time to move on for a new adventure. And one of my former coworkers had joined Kojo, my current employer, and who recruited me over. And so I started at Kojo as a controller. They had never had audited financials, so I came in and walked them through their first audit a couple of years ago, and that went smoothly. And then just was promoted 6 months ago to the head of finance role when my boss moved on. So yeah, it's been a fun journey.
Cool. Awesome. Yeah, thanks for that walkthrough. So one of the things I want to actually dive into is like a controller and a head of finance. Those are like, I guess, like two different roles in a sense. So, what does a controller do? I feel like a lot of people don't actually know what a controller actually does.
Yeah, good question. So a controller's main job, I would say, is making sure that a company's financials are following GAAP, generally accepted accounting principles, and just making sure that those financial statements are compiled on a timely and accurate basis, month in and month out, and that the reports are accurate, and that and helps the company get through audits, oversees payroll, oversees the tax team in the filing of corporate tax returns. So those are it's kind of the bread and butter of a company's financial statements responsibility.
Got it. And so, when you took that step up to be a head of finance, congrats, by the way. But what was the difference in the responsibilities that you took on from a controller job over to a head of finance?
Yeah, so the head of finance has a bigger picture perspective. So they're going to be looking more at developing forecasts and overseeing budgets, making sure that there's an ROI and investment. So it's just managing the cash flow of the business. So it's a bigger picture view of the company and steering the ship.
Okay, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, and so let's kind of switch gears to talking about collections, the fun topic of the day. Yeah, so in your controller role, did collections come under your purview. And we know that like you all are customers of Invoice Butler, but before that, what did collections look like under your controllership?
Yeah. So yes, when I joined Kojo as a controller, overseeing collections was my responsibility, and making sure that our day sales outstanding got to be a reasonable place and stayed in a reasonable place. And when I joined Kojo, like we were manually following up with our customers. We had a template we were using, but we were still, daily figuring out like who has not paid their invoices today, and like setting up those emails. It was very manual and time consuming, um, just to send out emails. Um, and so, kind of jumping the gun, like what was so great about Invoice Butler was that Invoice Butler helped us automate all of those email drafts, so we could customize emails. Invoice Butler integrated with our Stripe, our invoicing platform, so they knew which invoices were open or not open, and so all of those invoices were just automatically created. And the benefit of that is we needed to more quickly find out where the issues were. So um, because once we knew where the issues are, then we can figure out the underlying cause of why a customer is not paying. Because getting to that problem is the most important problem to fix quickly. So if it's a new customer, why aren't they paying? Like do they have an issue? Let's go fix that issue so they can pay us. So like getting to getting to the answer of like why a customer isn't paying us quickly is really important. Invoice Butler definitely has helped save time in finding that answer.
Got it, got it, got it. That's awesome. Yeah. And so when you were doing a lot of the manual work, right? Was there a moment where you thought like, hey, can't keep doing it this way, or you felt that it was unsustainable, or what was the impact?
Yeah, totally. I mean, just setting up those invoices manually every day probably took our team an hour to two every day, and that was just not a value add. Like it didn't require a human. It just needed to be automated so that the human could do more value added work and actually having conversations with customers versus just reaching out. So just automating the process definitely helped.
Yeah, yeah, makes sense. Um, and so like you kind of jumped again there, but of like after Invoice Butler, right? Like, what was the aha moment for you that was like, okay, wow, like this is actually taking a lift off of my plate?
Yeah, I mean, just the time savings, just seeing that time savings of, okay, we don't have to spend so much time chasing invoices. We're more quickly getting to root problems and solving them faster. And then just being able to see, like, consistently over time, since we've been with Invoice Butler, that our day sales outstanding is consistently under 30. We've been able to maintain with, as we've grown, like we're not spending any more time on collections, like so that it's just it's been able for us to maintain the level of effort collections but while maintaining really good numbers.
Got it, got it, got it. Awesome. Yeah. So there's a lot of other finance teams out there that are still, chasing payments manually, managing in a spreadsheet like you were doing, out of Stripe. I guess why do you think that people hesitate to bring in help, even though like collections are clearly a pain point?
Well, I think that it's really important for collections to be automated because humans make mistakes. Like a human might be like, okay, well, I'm traveling this week. The person in charge of AR could be traveling, and then you have a week of where nobody's reaching out to your customers. But if it's automated, you don't have that problem. Emails will always go out when they need to. And just the bread and butter of making sure customers are aware that there's an outstanding payment continues to happen. And what's nice is like Stripe will send a couple automated emails, but it's not personalized at all. So what Invoice Butler allowed us to do is we could change the tone of the emails to fit our company's personality, and then we could design like different flows of like, well, we want an email to have this kind of tempo to go out in this case, and but this tempo to come out in this case. So we can customize the flow of emails. And so it sounds personable, it sounds like our company, but it's automated.
Yeah, yeah, makes sense. Yeah. Um, just kind of a bit of a throwback. When we first started Invoice Butler, we didn't even have a dashboard. We were on like a spreadsheet doing everything. So what was your thought at the time? Why did you take a chance on something so early where our UI was a spreadsheet?
Yeah, I mean, again, for me, I knew that we had to save time in setting up these emails. And then I saw the vision, I saw what y'all were wanting to do. And so I thought it was worthwhile getting in early and being able to affect the product development, which Invoice Butler has been great in listening to customer feedback and my feedback on this is what I'd like to see, this is what I would not like to see. So that's been really great in a startup environment. You just get listened to better. So I've appreciated that about Invoice Butler.
Yeah, no. Yeah, thanks for taking a chance on us so early. So like, the feedback really helped us like build to get to this point. Yeah, final take. What would you tell another head of finance or a controller if they're thinking about Invoice Butler? Why would you say that to them? Why they should give it a shot?
Yeah, I would say you want to reduce the amount of manual work that's happening because you want to get you want you and your team to be spending time just on the high value conversations, if and when they need to happen. So you don't want your team spending time sending emails. You want your team spending time like solving big picture customer issues and reaching like to solve those things. It just it's important to have a really good pulse on customer sentiment, and like if you're spending time just sending an email versus talking to the customer, it's just not scalable and effective.
Yep. Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Um, yeah, that kind of like basically wraps us up. Is there any last words that you want to say or anything that like I should have covered that I didn't?
I'd say the dashboard looks great now. Just the online portal, it's great to have like all of the notes, and you can see all of the times that Invoice Butler has reached out to a customer, the emails that have been sent, when they have texted or called, and just to have that in one um, quick dashboard has been really helpful.
Yeah, no, appreciate it. Yeah, it was built with a lot of your feedback, right? Like the notes and then like the back and forth. And so, yeah, like you're a big part of the Invoice Butler story, so really appreciate it.
Yeah, sure.
Cool, awesome. And that about wraps us up. Thanks, Lucy, for joining us. And we will call scene right there.